In 1994, a jury in Albuquerque in the USA awarded Stella Liebeck $2.9 million for basically spilling her own coffee on herself. Now, this is an incredible amount of money, and I'll tell you how the lawyer managed to pull that off in a few seconds. But most importantly for us, there are a couple lessons that we can learn from this story that will allow us to really almost immediately increase the price of our services and products. So keep listening. A quick note before we start. If you're struggling with your freelancing business, there are two ways I can help you, and you'll find both of those in the description below. First one is just get in touch and let me know what you're struggling with. I'll do my best to help you. And the second one is you'll find a link to a free guide to full-time freelancing that I have written that might help you as well. So why not check it out? It's free. Let's begin. So it turns out that as humans, we are not very good at establishing absolute values. For example, I have this cup. If I had to take this cup and estimate his weight, I wouldn't really be able to do that. I would have to try and recall similar objects that I might compare it to. But then if I take this pen and compare it to the cup, now it would be much easier for me to say, first of all, which one weighs more, and also estimating how many times more does this object weigh more than the pen. And this holds true for most things, I'd say for all senses, and most importantly, this holds true for prices as well. We are pretty clueless about the absolute value of an object. There is no object that is absolutely cheap or expensive. The only thing that we can do is to compare that price with other prices we have in mind. And by doing that, defining whether that is expensive or cheap instead. And here comes the topic of this video. It turns out that we can use values as reference points for further decisions to be made, whether the perception of a value or the guessing of a value, for example. And so you can take these values and alter the consequent value that is going to be chosen. Going back to the story of the lawsuit, this is exactly what happened. So the lawyer, turns out, asked the jury to be compensated based on the amount of sales that McDonald's did with his coffee. And so specifically, he asked for 2 days of sales, and that amounted to about $2.7 million. Now, here are a few things that you should know about anchor points or anchor prices or anchoring as a process. The first thing is that the anchor number must be stored in the short-term memory when the decision is taken for it to matter. If it has been forgotten, then clearly it cannot affect the decision. The second thing to know is that there is no ceiling. In fact, if he did make a mistake, then the mistake has been not to ask for more, for 5 or 10 days of income from the coffee sales, because it turns out that, a bit counterintuitively, once again, there is no ceiling. It's not going to come back at you, but what is going to happen is that there are going to be diminishing returns. So as the amount requested increases, the gain or the amount that the number that is going to be guessed is going to be moved is going to be less and less throughout time. And also, anchoring is constrained by what people know or believe to be true. So if that person has an extended kind of knowledge around the topic, then clearly, if you know what the exact answer is, you're not going to change your answer because of the anchor point. And stores know this very well, and so probably you have been affected by this anchoring process. other times in your life. For example, when you have bought a product, then you thought it was a bargain, then your perception has possibly been affected by another product of a higher price inserted in the catalog just to make you perceive the other one as more reasonable priced. And also when you see, $100 discounted to 69, that is also what is happening is that the 100 price anchor is being forced to your system in a way, so that when you look to the other price, you'll find it much more reasonable. This is not a guide on pricing. Many more things should be taken into consideration when defining the prices of your services and products. But you can start and take this new knowledge on price anchoring and using it to your advantage. For example, you can start making different priced packages so that the more expensive one will make the least expensive one, or the less expensive ones feel much more reasonable as a price. Or you can also take as an anchor your competitors' prices if those prices are higher than yours. And the most powerful one, which ties into value pricing, is taking the financial upside that the person will get from your services and specifying it so that they will be able to clearly see how what they get is going to benefit them compared to what they're going to pay. And so they're going to kind of perceive the price as an investment of sort. This can't be done in every situation, clearly. Sometimes the value is very hard to define or undefinable at all, but I'm sure you'll be able to find a few instances where you can actually leverage price anchoring. So leverage the anchors in the right settings. And of course, do not use these as a mean of manipulation. This is a disclaimer that maybe for some of you is obvious, but although you can theoretically use this to make people take decisions that they don't want to take, in the long term, this is absolutely not worth. Just keep in mind that your job is to make your customers and clients happy. And so don't make them take actions that they're going to regret, clearly. A few of the concepts from this video come from this book. It's called Priceless by William Poundstone. It's a good book. It's very interesting. If you'd like to read it and to research the topic a bit more, I'm leaving a link in the description below where you'll be able to buy it. And that's it, really. If you like the video, just subscribe if you would like to hear more videos about the kind of entrepreneurship and marketing topics. And I'll see you next time.